Hey, it's another Friday night wine in Prague, listening adventure. I get in this lousy habit of not showing you what it's gonna be. This is the wine. I'm gonna get things this out of the way. This is the wine I'll be drinking tonight. CA California Dream Red Blend. And it seemed it will go pretty well with my tonight's offering, which is the Spock's Beard, the Archaeoptimist. I hope I got that right. Supposedly this is supposed to be a concept album. Not sure what the storyline is. Something about a little girl who's lost her ways and probably goes through a labyrinth of self-discovery and all that other stuff. Spock's Beard is my. I live in Sherman Oaks, and they are our hometown Prague heroes. They were formed in Sherman Oaks. They recorded their first album at Woodcliff Studios, which was up the street from me. Someone's house. I don't know. But they recorded their first album in the basement of someone's house called The Light back in 1994. And if I've had a few adventures with these guys. They've played locally at Reseda Country Club, which is a big concert with them, and that's where they were Enchant opened up, where that's where their lead singer comes from, Ted Leonard. They've been through. This is their 14th album. I missed out on the previous two, was just the Oblivion Particle and Noise Floor. Didn't even know they were out until I was reading with the release of this one. Because they switched so many labels. They were on Radiant Records. Well, the first one, The Light, was on an independent label. Then Radiant Records. Then I think John Electric P they've been on. And they've had a long association with Inside Out, which was Thomas Waber. And my friend Matt Goodluck, who now sings for a Pink Floyd tribute band, he became friends with Neil Morse, the singer at the time and main composer, and it was through him that he got the form Transatlantic, who Neil Morse works with this very day. The supergroup with Morse, Pete Travis, Mike Portnoy, and Ronnie Stolt. Sorry. The most famous, my favorite memory of Spock's Beard is when they did a outdoor concert just outside the record store called Moby Disc at the time. It was quite a wild experience of seeing Ryo plug his Mellotron outside of the storefront, and the people were not expecting this to happen. They even, I mean, there wasn't even a crowd except for us diehards there, and there's people walking around and on the street of Ventura Boulevard and say, "What the heck is going on here? What is this going on?" And yeah, and there's this band just launching in these long epics, 20-minute epics on a street corner. It's just rocking out, and I got see him, and they played over at Tower Records over at Westwood at the time. And I remember that's when I was self-publishing my Depositman comic book. I remember approaching Neil Morse about running an ad for Spock's Beard in my comic book, and he was definitely dead against it. Probably because he had copies of my first a couple of them and did not deem it appropriate to have his band at the time advertised. I believe I wanted to put an ad up for Snow, and they said no way. So I've lost step with these guys. I guess after the 9th album, when Ted Leonard took over, I think that was the last one for Inside Out, and I didn't know about the other 2 albums they had done after that. But I'm gonna make it a mission to get those previous 2 albums I missed out on. And well, the last time I saw them live was up in San Francisco, and they were playing at a seedy bar out in the middle of like the warehouse district in San Francisco, and I remember being stranded there, and it was a really bad neighborhood, and a cab would not come for me to pick me up. Cab drivers were scared to pick me up, so finally I got one who could, and I happened to be there to do. I was displaying. I was exhibiting at a comic book show called the Ape Show, which is Alternative Press Expo out there. And I remember I was really cranky that Sunday, the last day of the show, and I don't think I even sold a lot of books that day. So anyway, let's dig into it. This is called the Archaeoptimist, and and now they're on Madfish, which is a subsidiary of K-Scope Music, but Madfish is, well, okay, they've done a few Rick Wakeman solo albums, but they're a band, they're a label that's mostly associated with alternative prog, like Pure Reason Revolution and Ocean Size. If I remember, I had one of their albums on that label. But here we go, and I don't know who did the cover, but I suppose I'll find out when we open it up and open the album up. And I hate that. This is a CD DVD version. I'll be playing the DVD because I want that 5.1 optimum performance. It's well, hey, what I need to add is that Spock's beard is mainly influenced by their they get their marching orders influences from Yes, Genesis, and Gentle Giant, and one of the songs here called "A Forethoughts." I was suppose it's in the series of Thoughts, which is a total big tribute to Gentle Giant, and I would say I've been listening to these guys before I was actually listening to Gentle Giant. When I first heard Thoughts, I immediately thought of Octopus, with their multi-part harmonies and counterpoint vocals. Here's there's the CD, and there's the DVD. I suppose there's a booklet in here. So let's go to the rundown of the members of the band. Ted Leonard on vocals, Dave Merrows, the bass player, Alan Morris, guitar player, who's brother of Neil. Neil, like, no longer in the band. Nick Potters, and Ryo Okumoto. He was a great guy. I've hung out with him a few times in person. I happened last time I saw Ryo at King Crimson show, and then I went to see him perform for a tribute band called Project. Maybe you heard of him or not. It's mainly Jonathan Moore's tribute band, so everything prog. and I saw the gig with Michael Sadler when he was doing vocals. And sadly, it'd probably be the last time I'll see Michael Sadler perform anywhere, because now he has cancer. So here's the booklet, and there are the lyrics. Invisible, the opening track, has been getting a lot of plays on YouTube. Electric Monk, and A4 Thoughts. Thoughts Part 4. Where's Thoughts Part 3? Probably in those 2 albums I don't have. Jerome and the Wilderness. There's only 6 tracks. So the 5th one is the Archaeoptimist, and which is a 20-minute plus track. And the last one is a like 11-minute track called Next Step. So I want to see who. Okay, the album art was done by Carl Glover, and mixed and mastered by Rich Mosier. I think he's been their main engineer for many years. Probably the guy who lived up the street from my house where they recorded the first album. So I have to really look into that. It doesn't say where it's recorded, where it was recorded, or where the main studio was at. But I'm going to. I think I'm really going to enjoy this. So next week I'm going to have. I caved in to get the new Dream Theater live Blu-ray CD set, since I didn't go see him play this last tour. Probably need something to make up for it. And there's a Blu-ray release of Yes's Fly From Here. I don't know which version it is, if it's the David Benoit version or the Trevor Horn version. I suppose I'll find out when I get it. Okay, that's it. Have a great night.